Hello, it's Eric Lewis. Jason, who does the main role.
I'm so lonesome I could cry.
He had been doing the show for some time, and I had a friend that was playing steel guitar in the show that needed someone to come in and take over because he had a contract come up that was going to involve him being gone for a while. So I subbed the date for him and have been here ever since. So that's 16 years ago. I've been with Jason for 16.
I had no interest in being in the arts. No interest whatsoever. I had done a couple of plays in high school, junior high. I sang in my church choir. And one day, somebody in our church said, "Hey, you're a good singer. You should audition for Opryland," which was the theme park in Nashville. I was like, okay, I got weekends open. You know, I was young, I was 22 or whatever, and I was like, sure, why not? And I did, and they cast me, so I did weekends for the first year, and then they came up and they wanted to sign me to a year contract after that. I was like, man, let's see. A lot of money over with this Pfizer, medical. But I hated the job. I hated it. I hated being a salesperson. You feel like you're intruding. So I said, well, I'll give this music thing a shot, this acting thing a shot, and give it a year and see what happens. And the year turned into 5 years, and then the year, it's now turned into 33. I got started as an actor first, and I got cast in Lost Highway at the Ryman Auditorium, 96, 97.
I met Jason in the late 90s. We did a national tour of a show called Lost Highway, The Music and Life of Hank Williams. And that's, I was hired as an actor, fiddle player for that show.
Band members they sort of come and go, but for the last 10 or 15 years, it's been pretty solid. Eric and Mark and Alec, our bass player, came in about 5 or 6 years ago, and he's been with me ever since. So
I get the same big thrill with a lot of people sitting there smiling and enjoying the stuff. I've played with a handful of different stars in the past, but it's the individual performances and reactions of people that do it for me.
There's a ton of songs I love to sing. Probably I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, just because of the story of Hank. It gets to, he only had like a 5-year career, and then he died. And he sort of died of alcoholism and a broken heart. But he was battling his demons, and he wrote his autobiography in his music. So I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry is really a cry for help.
Back in the early 80s, I was working this was at the end of the urban cowboy thing in country music. And I was working a big, about 2,000 seat nightclub in Houston called Fool's Gold. And Hank Jr. came in about 11 o'clock one evening and got up on stage with us and played his tunes for about 2 hours.
I've performed with Hank Williams III. I've met Hank Jr. several times. I've pretty much met everybody that knew. Most of them are passed away now, but that knew Hank Williams and played with Hank Williams. And that's kind of where I get all these stories. They all wanted to tell me the Hank story. And so that's how I put the show together, was from those first-hand accounts, and it's a pretty amazing story. They loved him. They loved him. And he felt alone in a crowd. You can be around a crowd of friends and just feel so alone. And that's kind of what he was battling.